Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Ananjana Shalakaya Chakshuniti Tasma Shri Guru Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swaye Padaram Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Patapamalam Shri Guru Nivashanats Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vikantam Sachivam Sadvaitam Sabhavijam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Devata Shri Vishakam Vitanischa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpatu Pesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwahanuste Devi Karamani Hare Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Cha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Padaya Krishna Vastavi Padapada Jitya Shri Guru Rajaya Swami Sudhakara Sri Hare Krishna Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastavi Padapada Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangam So we are reading about Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 1, the later pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. So this Chaitanya Charitamrita is actually it's a biography, right? It's a biography, and it's a biography of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Oh, 64, I wrote wrong number then. Okay. Yeah, so it's a biography and it is history. It's history. So I'm listening to Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj lectures. And Devahiti was saying she's gone to Kashi. So I'm listening to Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj lectures in Kashi. So, so Devahuti went there in the cold, but I'm sitting and listening his lectures and I'm going on YouTube and viewing all the places. Then I'm looking for images, whatever it is. But so it is, oh God. Anyway, the histories of temples in India, in all the lectures everywhere, the discussion is about how the temples have been demolished. So this Charitamrita is very, very, very important. Because with the destructions of all these temples that I just heard now, did you see the temple Bindu Madhav? Devahuti? Did you see in Kashi? Bindu Madhav? Just see, she's looking what? Adi Keshav? Did you see Adi Keshav in Kashi?
I saw Markandeya Mahadev. That's the temple.
All right. So I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link to Maharaj lecture. So he's saying that these temples have been demolished. So this and Bindu Madhav, we're going to read about it in Chaitanya Charitamrita. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Kashi, he went to take darshan of Bindu Madhav. Hmm? And so this temple has been demolished and only a small kutir is left. You know? So I was listening to Govinda Das Prabhu from Chowpatty Temple. I think he does a lot of history classes. Like I didn't know anything about Indian history. So he was explaining how the entire Vedic culture, Vedic samskar, everything was from the temples. So the lives of the general people rotate around the temple, so they will get all their samskar done. Everything. But more importantly was the teachings, with the basis, the base of knowledge, but the center of learning. So that's why when Srila Prabhupada made his temples, he called it Temple of Understanding, meaning it's where you preach and you teach people all the philosophies. So all these have been demolished, and Prabhupada now he is setting up his temples. I don't know how many temples have been demolished, but Prabhupada himself set three temples: Vrindavan, Bombay, and Mayapur. These are the three temples that Prabhupada personally, set. But now his disciples and great grand disciples, everybody, so they are building temples everywhere, and they are giving knowledge, right? And we see how naturally people come, they want for all their samskar, they want all this, So now when we're studying this Chaitanya Charitamrita, so I remember how Jayapataka Maharaj, he spoke about this Namhata, meaning the temple at home, meaning that the huge structure, that gets demolished, attacked. So you can, it's like a lighthouse, everybody can see it. So, and yes, people want to demolish it. But, so he said that this congregation preaching, this Bhakti Vriksha program, this chanting at home, meaning that if you make every house a temple, you can't demolish every house, right? So this Chaitanya Charitamrita is teaching us. So Mahaprabhu gave the instruction that Yare Dekhe Tare Kaha Krishna Upadesh. Whoever you meet, give Krishna Upadesh. And stay at home. Stay at home and read Bhagavatam, practice Bhagavad Dharma, home, everything. Because that so Maharaj said that you can't demolish, and the chanting of the holy name. So the yajnas that were going on in the temples, now it's happening individually, individual homes, and it is not noticeable, right? It's not like a huge, you need fire, you need this, you need ghee, you need this, so many stuff. Like you need a big, you need a Havan Kun, you need a courtyard, you need this, right? In your small apartment, you can't have a Havan every day, right? So therefore, oh God, what is this? This Zoom is not very intelligent. It doesn't understand. It doesn't understand that we speak with our hands. We don't speak with our mouth only, right? So it is reacting and sending messages. Oh God. You see how machines. See now what this Zoom has done is a machine, right? It's AI. So it has no brain, right? It's been programmed to detect emotions, everything, and then to react. So therefore it's stupid, right? He doesn't know what it's doing. Anyway, I don't know why I stopped where I was speaking. Oh my God, anyway, that's another world. This is the technology world. But yeah, I'm just saying that we should study this Chaitanya Charitamrita very, very, very carefully, because how to practice Krishna consciousness at home. See, now we may believe that we are safe, nobody's attacking India and we are building temples and so on. We don't know what may happen tomorrow, right? Right? That has happened. Why India got demolished like this? It's because inside they became weak. They became weak in their dharma. They became greedy. They became so many things. The kings became degraded, and the people became degraded, and therefore they allowed outside forces to come and conquer. So is India right now at the peak of its dharma? No. So therefore, even if we peak up, we don't know when again it will come down. And wars, from whatever I have learned, unfortunately, this last 5 years, what I learned, wars is in different ways. It's not just the bullets, and well, it's no longer bullets, it's drone, it's this and that, right? It's not only that now. Oh, just see, Devavati, she went to Kashi, right? She went to Kashi. So in that Vishwanath temple, this Vishwanath temple, now you go to worship there. When the British conquered India, do you know what they use it for? They use it as a bastion. They use it as a bastion to fight. So Maharaj is explaining how there are holes in the walls of the temple because they would put out their guns. So for you, Vishwanath temple is a place of worship. And for others, it's a very nice fort from which you fight and conquer others, right? So utility, how do you use it? A massive structure, right? So therefore, we have to get to the essence of dharma. There are many facilities, many aids to make us practice dharma. But when all these are crumbling or they are at stake, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is setting up a movement that will last for only 10,000 years. All right? Only 10,000 years. Meaning, and it's not applicable to everybody. It's applicable only to those who are sumedha saha, those who are extremely intelligent. So, we were reading last week about text 63. To avoid turmoil, 3 great personalities. Just see how they're addressed. 3 great personalities: Haridas Thakur, Srila Rup Goswami, and Srila Sanatan Goswami didn't enter the temple of Jagannath. Who's creating turmoil? Is the pujaris of Jagannath, right? And the people themselves. And who are they? Who are they? What I heard about Haridas Thakur, maybe Hindu mother, Muslim father, mixed. And Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, who we are worshipping on our altars, right? Who our great acharyas, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, who we are worshipping. In their time, the Hindus pushed them out, right? So Mahaprabhu is teaching how we go beyond all these externals of religion. So very, very important that we don't fall in the same trap, that we don't go to temples, just for the sake of practice, like, 1st January, right? 1st January, the whole of India go to temple, right? Isn't it? The whole, they choose which one to go. And by good luck, because ISKCON temples are popular, So they come, right? When you went to Kashi, right? We saw that how many lakh of people, right? So people come. 1st of January, we have to make sure we're in the right place, right? And then after that, one day is over, what do they do with their lives, right? So we spoke about that. Such dogmatic prohibitions were not approved by Lord Chaitanya. Those who were thought unfit to enter the Jagannath temple were daily visited by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, meaning that in your home, you're having the deity of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? In your home, if you have Gohitai, meaning Krishna is living with you, right? And this indicates that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not approve of the prohibitions. To avoid unnecessary turmoil, however, these great personalities would not enter the Jagannath temple. They didn't just force their way through, right? But everybody knows Jagannath comes out, right? Everybody knows Jagannath comes out, and nobody can say anything. The pujari themselves bringing Jagannath outside. They take 64.
Mataji, in one of the classes, you had said, I think 2 classes back, that without the mercy and understanding the 6 Goswamis, we cannot understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes.
So you
Yeah.
can please elaborate on that.
Oh, because a verse was given there, right? Mahaprabhu was singing one verse, right? And nobody could understand what he was saying. And so Rup Goswami, he wrote the meaning of that verse. All right, he wrote the meaning. So Mahaprabhu said, how did you know what is going on in my mind? So that's why we're making this point that without the 6 Goswamis, specifically Srila Rup Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, we cannot understand Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a very mystical personality. We already saw it. How on the one hand, he's a sannyasi, he's in the material world, and on the other side, he's completely in his bhav, right? In Radhika bhav. So who can understand him? But by the mercy of Rup Goswami, so he could understand. So see, remember here, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is giving a brief synopsis, as he usually does. It is just the beginning. He's just presenting the points, and then he will elaborate in the subsequent chapters. He will discuss in depth, and he will discuss mainly what is not discussed in Chaitanya Bhagavat. So after we have completed our Chaitanya Charitamrita, we should read Chaitanya Bhagavat, because we'll appreciate Chaitanya Bhagavat better, much better, after we have studied Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because otherwise Chaitanya Bhagavat is just like a storybook, right? And you may or may not believe it. You may or you may not accept it. But now we are going very systematically, the way I have heard from our Guru Maharaj, especially my Guru Maharaj, who read through and through this Chaitanya Charitamrita and explained to us. Every day and every week we used to have a Chaitanya Charitamrita class, and he will explain this Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Bhakti Rasamrita Singh, whom my Guru Maharaj taught this thoroughly, So that's why I'm speaking the way I'm speaking, because I heard from him. All right, so let's go on. Mahaprabhu Jagannathera Uppala Bhoga Dekhiya Nijagrihe Yanae Tinera Miliya. Every day Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to see the Uppala Bhoga ceremony at the temple of Jagannath. And after seeing this, he used to go visit these 3 great personalities on his way to his own residence. So lucky, So lucky, Jagannath temple and Mahaprabhu's house, and on the way, on the way are the three great personalities. Upala Bhog is a particular type of offering performed just behind the Garuda Stambha on a stone slab. That stone slab is called the Upala. All food is offered within the temple room, just below the altar of Jagannath. This bhog, however, was offered on the stone slab within the vision of the public. Therefore, it is called Uppala Bhog. See, usually we close the curtains, no? When we do bhoga offering. But here in Jagannath Puri, no. So everything is laid out in front of Jagannath, but public vision. I remember one time I went to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Samadhi, which is in Yoga Pit, So when we went, so the curtain was closed, so I just sat there and waited. And then the pujari opened, and the bhoga, the nice prasads were there. And I thought, oh my God, I would like to have. All right. So when Aarti was over, the pujari came and gave me. All right. Wish fulfilling. Text 65. Etina madhya bekhake he jana tanreasi apane mile prabhura niyama. If one of these three was not present, he would meet the others. That was his regular practice. So if you're not at home, okay, so Mahaprabhu went, just imagine what's going on, right? Mahaprabhu goes to your house and you're not there. So he went and meet the others. Meaning that Mahaprabhu is not the proud Lord, okay? He's not the proud Lord who you're sitting and you're worshipping, okay? I just heard again the story of this Kashi, Bindu Madhav, the story of Bindu Madhav. So there was one Muni, I forgot, Bindu Agni, something like this. His name was Bindu Agni. And Vishnu was Madhav. So this, so he was doing very severe austerities, like the cold, tolerating the cold, tolerating the rain, etc., just for a minute darshan, right? 6 lakh people standing in the queue, right? Just for the darshan. So he was doing great austerity. So Vishnu or Krishna, Madhav, whoever, so appeared, all right? So when he saw this Muni doing tapasya, he went towards him. Can you imagine? So it's not only that we are going towards Krishna, it is Krishna who is going towards us. And waiting for, like Vithala, right? Vithala, the deity Vithala, right? Lord Vithala. So that's how it is. This is what bhakti is all about, right? So we go towards Krishna and Krishna comes towards us. So here, Mahaprabhu, he goes out of his way to meet these 3 great personalities. And if somebody was not present, he just, it's okay, go and meet the others. Daireyasi prabhuyave udvete chahila chale gunjatala patre se shloka paila. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the residence of Srila Rupa Goswami, he accidentally saw the palm leaf on the roof, and thus he read the verse composed by him. So that's what it is here. Shloka Pariyache Prabhu Avishtahaya Rupa Gosaniya Seat Pare Dandavat Hana. After reading the verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went into an ecstatic mood. When he was in that state, Srila Rupa Goswami came and immediately fell down on the floor like a rock. Dandavat. The word danda means rod of coal. A rod of coal falls straight. Similarly, when one offers obeisances to his superior with all 8 angas, parts of the body, he performs what is called dandavat. Sometimes we only speak of dandavats, but actually, oh my God, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Prabhupada has written it. We should publish it. All right. Somebody please cut and paste this and send it to me. I'll put it in the world. Sometimes we only speak of dandavats, but actually do not fall down. In any case, dandavats means falling down like a rod before one's superior. You only say, Dandavat Pranam, Maharaj. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. So, we only speak on Dandavats, but do not fall down. Text 68. Uthi Mahaprabhu Tanre Chapare Maria. Chapara Maria. Kahite lagila kichu kolete kariya. When Rupa Goswami fell down like a rod, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got up and gave him a slap. Then taking him on his lap, he began to speak to him. Mora shlokera bhipraye na jane ko na jane. Mora manera katha tumi janile ke mane. No one knows the purport of my verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. How could you understand my intention? Etabali tanre bahu prasada kariya. Swarupa Gosanira Shloka Dikhaila Lana. Saying this, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bestowed various benedictions upon Rupa Goswami, and taking the verse, he later showed it to Swarupa Goswami. So Mahaprabhu took that verse. And remember that Rupa Goswami has only one copy, okay? All right. One. Swarupe puchena prabhu haya vismite moramanera katha rupa janira kemate. Having shown the verse to Swarup Damodar with great wonder, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him how Rupa Goswami could understand the intentions of his mind. Now, this is very important. Very important. So Mahaprabhu asks, who?
Swarup Damodar.
Yes, Swarup Damodar. Who's Swarup Damodar?
Lalita Sakhi.
We have Lalita Sakhi and
His secretary, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's secretary, personal assistant.
yes, his personal secretary. And maybe we read that this Swarup Damodar, he was previously like, he was a sannyasi from the Mayavad school, some story, right? And then he came and surrendered to Mahaprabhu. So, purport. We had the opportunity to receive a similar blessing from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami when we presented an essay at his birthday ceremony. He was so pleased with that essay that he used to say, or to call some of his confidential devotees and show it to them. How could we have understood the intention of Srila Prabhupada? Do you know which verse it is? Prabhupada Lilamrita. What is it?
Mataji, it had a verse which said that he actually smashed the Mayavadis, and that was the verse he liked.
Yes,
Guru Maharaj.
yes. Right. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was so happy because practically that was the goal of his life, right? To push out the Mayavad philosophy, which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is doing. All right, remember that Shankaracharya, he did a great work. He pushed out Buddhism and he brought back the Vedas. But the whole of India was only about monism. So he pushed out Buddhism, he brought in monism. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission was now to push out monism and bring bhakti. Bhakti. So Prabhupada's mission was also similar. So now, but this is confidential. Swarupa kahe yate janina tomara man, tate jani hai tomara kripara bhajan. Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami replied to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if Rup Goswami can understand your mind and intentions, he must have your Lordship's special benediction. Prabhu kahe tareyami santushtahana, alingana kailu sarva shakti sanchariya. The Lord said, I was so pleased with Rup Goswami that I embraced him and bestowed upon him all necessary potencies for preaching the bhakti cult. All right. See, now you're going to appreciate Shri Rup Goswami because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he didn't write his biography that's being described here. But the principles of bhakti, how to practice, is given to Shri Rupa Goswami. This Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which I hope you are studying. You just have to type Bhakti Rasamrita lectures. Just make sure it is from ISKCON and not somebody else. All right? Listen, study. If next door in your temple is being offered, go and take the course. Believe me, this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu for 10 solid years. 3 times I took the course from my Guru Maharaj. 3 times. Then 10 solid years I heard his lectures before I taught the book. Because it's not easy. Text 74. Yogya patra hai gada rasa vivechane. Tumyo kahiyo tare gudha rasa kyan hai. I accept Srila Rupa Goswami as quite fit to understand the confidential menus of devotional service, and I recommend that you explain devotional service to him further. All right, so now, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that Rupa Goswami is a fit disciple, right? So he instructed Swarup Damodar, who somebody said is Lalita, meaning most confidential, right? So he said, now you teach him more. And similarly for all of us, if Mahaprabhu see that we are serious, we want to learn, so he will send us new teachers who will teach us more. So that's how it works. Ye sabak kahi bhage vistara karina sangshepe uddesha kahila prastava paina. I shall describe all these incidents elaborately later on, okay? I have given only a brief reference. To read now, 76. You can read text 76.
Okay, I couldn't hear you, Mataji, so sorry. Text 76. Priya so ayam Krishna sahachari kurukshetra militas tatham sa radha tadidam ubayo sangama sukham तथापि अंतखेलन मधुरा मुरली पंचमा जुषे मनो में कालिंदी पुलना विपीनाया स्पिरायति. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is a verse spoken by Srimati Radharani. My dear friend, now I have met my very old and dear friend Krishna on this field of Kurukshetra. I am the same Radharani and now we are meeting together. It is very pleasant, but still I would like to go to the bank of the Yamuna beneath the trees of the forest there. I wish to hear the vibration of his sweet flute playing the fifth note within that forest of Vrindavan. Purport. This verse also appears in the Padyavali 387, an anthology of verses compiled by Srila Rupa Goswami. Text 77. Ei shlokera sankshepe partha suna bhaktagana Jagannatha dekhiyai che prabhura bhavana. Now, O devotees, please hear a brief explanation of this verse. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was thinking in this way after having seen the Jagannath deity. Shri Radha Radhika Kurukshetre Krishnera Darshana Yadyapi Paena Tabu Bhavena Achena. The subject of his thoughts was Srimati Radharani, who met Krishna on the field of Kurukshetra. Although she met Krishna there, she was nonetheless thinking of him in the following way. Rajavesha Hathi Ghoda Manushya Kahana Kahan Gopavesha Kahan Nirjana Vrindavana. She thought of him in the calm and quiet atmosphere of Vrindavan, dressed as a cowherd boy, but at Kurukshetra, he was in a royal dress and was accompanied by elephants, horses, and crowds of men. Thus, the atmosphere was not congenial for their meeting. Text 80. Shei bhave, Shei Krishna, Shei Vrindavana, Yabe pai tabe hai vanchita purana. Thus, meeting with Krishna and thinking of the Vrindavan atmosphere, Radharani longed for Krishna to take her to Vrindavan again and to fulfill her desire in that calm atmosphere. Ahuschate nalina nabha padara vrindam yogeshware hriday vinchintyam agada bodhe samsara kupa patito tarana avalamban yeham jusamapi manasi udiyat sadanaha. Translation. The gopis thus spoke thus, Dear Lord, whose navel is just like a lotus flower. Your lotus feet are the only shelter for those who have fallen into the deep well of material existence. Your feet are worshipped and meditated upon the great mystic yogis and highly learned philosophers. We wish that this lotus feet may also be awakened within our hearts, although we are only ordinary persons engaged in household affairs. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.82.48. Tumar charna more.
Yeah, 1 minute. Anupama Mishra, you want to read?
Hare Krishna. Text 1.82. तोमार चरण मोर ब्रज पूरा घरे उदय कराए यदि तबे वांच पूरे. Translation. The gopis thought, Dear Lord, if your lotus feet again come to our home in Vrindavan, our desires will be fulfilled. Purport. In his Anubhasya, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments, the gopis are purely engaged in the service of the Lord without motive. They are not captivated by the opulence of Krishna, nor by the understanding that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Naturally, the gopis were inclined to love Krishna, for he was an attractive young boy of Vrindavan village. Being village girls, they were not very much attracted to the field of Kurukshetra, where Krishna was present with elephants, horses, and royal dress. Indeed, they did not very much appreciate Krishna in that atmosphere. Krishna was not attracted by the opulence or personal beauty of the gopis, but by their pure devotional service. Similarly, the gopis were attracted to Krishna as a cowherd boy not in sophisticated guise. Lord Krishna is inconceivably powerful. To understand him, great yogis and saintly persons give up all material engagements and meditate upon him. Similarly, those who are overly attracted to material enjoyment, to enhancement of material opulence, to family maintenance, or to liberation from the entanglements of this material world, take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But such activities and such activities and motivations are unknown to the gopis. They are not at all expert in executing such auspicious activities. Already transcendently enlightened, they simply engage their purified senses in the service of the Lord in the remote village of Vrindavan. The gopis are not interested in dry speculation, in the arts, in music, or other conditions of material life. They are bereft of all understanding of material enjoyment and renunciation. Their only desire is to see Krishna return and enjoy spiritual transcendental pastimes with them. The gopis want him simply to stay in Vrindavan so that they can render service unto him for his pleasure. There is not even a tinge of personal sense gratification.
So this you have to read again and again to understand, right? What is, and you know, and just see, it's so obvious. It's just so obvious. Like we are used to Vrindavan and Mayapur. You know, Prabhupada introduced Vrindavan and Mayapur to us, and it has just been rasa. Why is it that our devotees they always run to Vrindavan and Mayapur? Because it's just pure rasa. And you go anywhere else, you know, it is suffering. It is austerities and suffering. But Vrindavan is just so joyous. And Mayapur also is just joyous. It's just kirtan, kirtan, and prasadam. Isn't it? So that's what we are talking about. And other places, it's, you know, I have to remove my sins, and, you know, this purification, that purification. But it's just rasa in Vrindavan and Mayapur. So that's the essence of this purport here. Okay, Devahuti, you want to read?
Hare Krishna. Text 83. Bhagavatir Shlok Gudhaharta Vishad Karina Rup Goshani Shlok Koila Loka Pujhaina. In one verse, Sri Rup Goswami has explained the confidential meaning of the verse of Srimad Bhagavatam for the understanding of the general populace. Text 84. Yate lila rasa parima lodgari vanya parita dhanya shauni vilas sati vrita mathuri madhuri bhihi तत्रस माभीस चतुला पासुपी भाव मुग्धा अंतराभिः समवितस्त्वं कलाया वन वदन्नोलासी वेणुर्विहरम विहारम. Translation. The gopis continued, Dear Krishna, the fragrance of the mellows of your pastime is spread throughout the forest of the glorious land of Vrindavan, which is surrounded by the sweetness of the district of Mathura. In the congenial atmosphere of that wonderful land, you may enjoy your pastimes with your flute dancing on your lips and surrounded by us, the gopis, whose hearts are always enchanted by the unpredictable ecstatic emotions. Purport. This is a verse from Lalita Madhav 10.38 by Srila Rupa Goswami. এই মতে মহাপ্রভু দেখি জগন্নাথে সুভদ্রা সহিতা দেখে বংশী নাহি হতে। Translation. In this way, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Jagannath, he saw that the Lord with his sister Subhadra was not holding a flute in his hand. Tribhanga Sundara Vraje Vrajendra Nandana Kaha Pabo Ei Vanche Boro Anukshana. Translation. Absorbed in the ecstasy of the gopis, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wished to see Lord Jagannath in his original form as Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, standing in Vrindavan and appearing very beautiful, his body curved in three places. His desire to see that form was always increasing. राधिका उन्मद होइचे उद्धव दर्शने उद्गुर्ण प्रलप ताइचे प्रभुर रात्रि दिने. Just as Srimati Radharani talked inconsistently with a bumblebee in the presence of Uddhava, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his ecstasy talked crazily and inconsistently day and night. Purport. This unmad, madness, is not ordinary madness. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu talked inconsistently, almost like a crazy fellow, he was in the transcendental ecstasy of love. In the highest transcendental ecstasy, there is a feeling of being enchanted in the presence of the enchanter. Wow. When the enchanter and the enchanted become separated, mohana or bewilderment occurs. When so bewildered due to separation, one becomes stunned, and at that time, all the bodily symptoms of transcendental ecstasy are manifested. When they are manifest, one appears inconceivably crazy. This is called transcendental madness. In this state, there is imaginative discourse, and one experiences emotions like those of a madman. The madness of Srimati Radharani was explained to Krishna by Uddhav, who said, "My dear Krishna, because of extreme feeling of separation from you, Srimati Radharani is sometimes making her bed in the groves of the forest, sometimes rebuking a bluish cloud, and sometimes wandering about in the dense darkness of the forest. Thus, she has become like a crazy woman." Text 88.
Yes. Yeah,
Dwadasha
yeah. 1 minute.
Vatsara
Yeah. Okay, read that. Yeah, continue.
Dwad. Should I read?
Yes, yeah.
Dwadasha Vatsara Shesha Aicha Gonaila Ei Mote Shesh Lila Tribodhane Koila. Translation. The last 12 years of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were passed in this transcendental craziness. Thus, he executed his last pastimes in three ways.
Yes. Okay, Amrita Radhe, what is it? I'd like to see you, okay?
Yes, Madhya. Basically, Madhya, in the 82nd verse, we read about Gopi Bhav. This is what I understood, like how much the gopis loved Krishna. Their heart was selfless, and yeah, so they only wanted to serve and please Krishna. My question is, Mataji, uh, so if we want the Vraj Bhav or Bhav like the gopis, we don't have it. At least I don't have it currently. I mean, I don't love Krishna so much. Some attraction may be there by Srila Prabhupada's grace. But do we pray to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada to get that bhav? Or like you said, we just go on reading that purport again and again? So how do we reach that bhav? That's my question.
Process meaning when the love develops, right? So the unmotivated service to Krishna is the very goal of sadhana bhakti, right? As described by Sri Chaitanya by Rup Goswami, right? So when the soul awakens and is no longer interested in material life or the entanglements of material life, when the soul awakens and discovers his relationship with Krishna, this is the state that's described here. So the gopis are in Madhurya Bhav. So this is how they're feeling, and others also, all the residents of Vrindavan, unmotivated love. Here, Madhurya Bhav is described. It's just a question of doing practice until the car takes off. Like Prabhupada says, like a car that doesn't want to move. So what do? You switch on the engine, it's not working, right? So you give it dhakka, right? So many people has to push, then you give it a kick and then it moves, right? So that's exactly what our Guru Maharaj are doing with all of us. Pushing. We are like, donkeys that don't want to move, right? So all the Guru Maharajas, Shiksha Guru, mentors, this one, that one, whoever is pushing, right? It's like you want to take a bath in the Holy Kund. How do you get in there? Everybody push you in, right? That's how you get in. So you have to stay in the crowd. You have to stay in the process. And pushed, just believe me, like we had this book marathon. We went full speed was going on, and then last day they said, no, we are not going to have. And even though I I was not happy about, that we are not doing or whatever, but believe me, my speed broke. The speed at which I was moving throughout the months, it broke. And I started, going back, because the pressure in front was like so much, it broke my speed. But the enthusiasm of the devotees pushed me up, So there are so many obstacles that happen in the discharge of devotional service. And one small G, can very much, take some steps back, right? But because of the Sangha, right? The Sangha, the enthusiasm of all those who are distributing books, so they push me, and I started cooperating with them. So that's how it works. So what I'm saying is that we need, we take the process, meaning that intelligence no longer worked. You understand? Intelligence, knowledge, and nothing worked. I was just being checked. Then the strength of the book distributors made me ride with them. So this is how we progress.
Mataji, one question.
Otherwise, what happened? Is that we try, and then we relax. Anyway, it's so far, it's far-fetched. It's not within reach, right? It's dream world, isn't it? So let me stay safe where I am. Just tolerate, whatever's going on, let me just tolerate. And anyway, I'm going to die. Everybody dies. Like right in Kashi, right? I mean, I saw the videos, so they have this Manika Ghat, right? And they're burning 50 bodies at a time. And whoever's going there, everybody's becoming self-realized, right? So we'll be like this anyway, we're going to die. So it's okay. We just have to tolerate this bit and do my bhakti up and down. It's okay, right? So we need a very, very strong push so that we don't become complacent. And that's why we are studying. I'm so grateful to all of you, that you are coming. This reading of Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we are studying, examining, you're asking very nice questions also. Otherwise, when will I ever pick up this book and read? Is it okay, Amrita? Radhe?
Yes, Madhya, I was making mental notes of the point. So first point I gathered is that we have to continue with our devotional service. But what I understand is that it should be unmotivated from the purport. That's what I understood. It should be unmotivated, even free from the desire for liberation. And then second, the point that you've been emphasizing is that devotional service should be rendered in association of devotees, of sadhus. And so from that, I can infer that we are dependent on the blessings, mercy of the devotees to actually stay focused and reach the goal. Is that correct understanding?
Yes. Yes, I'll tell you another example. I'm so glad to be in India, because there's so much enthusiasm, there is so much faith. Things that I would never do, they just push me and make me do. Like Jagannath Puri, Rath Yatra, Jagannath Puri, I always hear the crowd, this and I say, no, I won't go, And then one devotee, she's very new girl. And for me, I've been studying Prabhupada's books for years and years and years, And this girl was so new. She just told me, do you want to go? And suddenly, it's like she ignited something in me. She just took me to Puri, booked a hotel room, and I went to Puri for the Rath Yatra. This is a new girl, but she had that, bhav in her. And even, like Kumbh Mela, here I am sitting, poring over, Prabhupada's books, and suddenly Mirabai said, do you want to go for Kumbh Mela? And it was Ujjain. And I have already vowed I will never go. But just she said, do you want to go on the spot? I said, yes. All right. And my God, don't ask me what is a Kumbh Mela after I came out from it all. Then I read in the news, who goes to Kumbh Mela? Only crazy people, right? And that was it, So who took us? Who made us go? It says it is only a test of faith. That Kumbh Mela is only faith that makes you go through that crowd and reach your destination. We are not going to go back home, back to Godhead on our own strength. All right? You read. At least the books is making your faith strong. But, the momentum, the dynamic practice is dependent on others. Just relax, and watch the movies. Hare Krishna movies. I'm not saying Bollywood movies, right? So, see, like I have my own, inhibitions. I have my own shortcomings. I have my own, physical, mental, whatever. Maybe not mental, but physical I have. But the enthusiasm of the devotees make me go beyond my capacity. So similarly, each and every one of us, we have our own, breaking point, you could say, or our limitations. And like for me, I know it is physical, right? I'm always afraid of this, no? So I get inhibited. But what I notice is that Krishna always takes care of my physical limitation and give me the best so that I'm not disturbed in that area. And then Krishna gives me more, much, much more than what's in the books, actually. The goal of that, right? See, today, I cannot forget that dip that I took on Akshay Tritiya, in Kumbh Mela. Till today, I cannot forget that. Right? The Chipra River. I didn't even know the name of the river. I came back and I studied who is this river there, right? So Sangha, Sangha. We are so fortunate to be in India and to have that, yeah. What they do is they do the impossible. Yes, Anupama, Madhvi.
Mataji, I had a question that when the living entity leaves the planet and then his soul has to travel through all these 7 layers, each layer. So that time also the push or the momentum that living entity's soul has to be so high. And that time there is no devotee association or whatever,
Oh,
right?
no. You don't take birth alone and you don't die alone either, right? It's not that you are dying or taking birth. It's not everything is happening by yourself, right?
So who carries the living entity away out?
All the devas are pushing you out, right? Death means somebody's pulling you out, isn't it? And placing you in the right place. There are invisible beings who are doing all this for you, right? So now if you are boarding the plane back to Vaikuntha, so it is Vaikuntha airplane that has come for you, right? Meaning the Vaikuntha Vasis have come for you, right? It's not that you are by yourself boarding the plane, you have no ticket, right? Only they have seen that we have done sufficiently, And they will train us also. These 7 layers is not crossed in one day. There are transition periods. We read that, we join Krishna wherever he's having his programs, right? We join and we get more practice. And Prabhupada say, whatever we are doing right now, this sadhana that we are doing, that itself is a practice. But it is very much, especially in Kali Yuga, it is very much disturbed by so many inconveniences. Inconveniences like basic thing, we don't even have proper food, right? Everybody's suffering in their young age. They're suffering gray hair, broken arms, broken legs, right? No digestion. So how do you practice bhakti when you're only thinking, oh, my back is paining, oh, my leg is paining, shoulders. How do you, it's all so much inhibitions, right? So in Kali Yuga, there are plenty, and then the mind, every single woman I meet, broken marriage and therefore broken mind. Every second woman I'm meeting, how do they practice bhakti? Right? So if by good luck, Kono Bhagyavan Jeev, if by good luck we come in the Sangha of Prabhupada's devotees and we learn the philosophy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the 6 Goswamis, if we learn this properly, at least, we can reach a certain level. And then we will go, we make ourselves fit, to reach another realm when we are more able to practice without being disturbed. right? I don't think it is just a one way, straight back home, back to God. I don't believe this. It has to be, landings. But no coming back to earth. No coming back in this, like fire, Panch Mahabhuta, right? So meaning the soul itself, even if we are in the soul body, only soul body, that soul body we have to practice, give up all the traumas of material life, right? The identification, the traumas, and then the lack of faith, the suspicion of each and every situation. Wherever we are so afraid that maybe this is not true. Maybe I'm not going to be taken care of. So many things, right? So all this is sitting in we are traumatized souls. So it's not that overnight, beautiful body will go and land in Krishna's lap in Golok Vrindavan. I think we need a lot of training in between. Our time is up also. All right. Okay, so these are very intense. Mahaprabhu is giving us real knowledge. So the last 12 years of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were passed in this transcendental craziness. Thus, he executed his last pastimes in 3 ways. Okay, so next week we are going to continue and see what are these 3 ways. Past executed his last pastimes. Hare Krishna. Panchakalpatarubhasya kripasindhya vachakatitanam pavadubhyo vaishnavyo.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, we'll meet next week.